there, Steve and Britt coming to you on the road. Spiritual Snacks, we're going mobile. Haven't done a video in quite a while, and so I thought while I'm on this nice drive today into Raleigh that I'd just go ahead and shoot one for you. I've wanted to cover a topic today that was put in requests several months ago actually by my mother-in-law, Sandy. She asked what I thought about vaccinations, immunizations, and you know, I thought that it'd be proper to talk about it even in a larger context in the field of medical science, and whether, you know, someone who believes in God and trusts in God should also make use of modern medical science, whether that shows a lack of faith, or whether, you know, as some people say, it's not natural, or whether it's something that we can trust. My personal view on this is something that I have not often heard articulated. In fact, I don't think I've heard it articulated at all. Most people fall into one of these two camps that I've already described. Either they think that it's not natural, that it's, you know, something that God never intended for us to put in our bodies, or this sort of thing, or else, on the other hand, people will trust completely in it, trust completely in the process, and sometimes even to the exclusion of God as our healer, which is also wrong. You cannot deny the positive effect that medical science has had, and this is sort of one of the things that pushes me away from the idea that, you know, it's not natural and we should never put these, you know, man-made substances in our bodies, is the fact that, and get this, I was looking this up specifically for this video, leprosy, in the last 20 years, 16 million people have been cured of leprosy. And I was thinking about vaccines because they're a very hot button thing, and you always hear, you know, the numbers on vaccines, how many lives it saved, the impact that it's had, and that sort of thing, because it's a very hot button issue, because it puts other people at risk when you don't have your children vaccinated, or if you're unvaccinated. But you don't hear often about these other infectious diseases that we now have cures for, that used to afflict people their entire lives and even kill people, that now we have treatments for. 6 months on antibiotics of a certain mix, and you are done with leprosy. It's cured. That is a miracle. It's an absolute miracle. So how do we reconcile this positive impact, this undeniable positive impact that medical science has had, with the fact that we ought to be putting our faith in God? Well, personally, what I believe is that it is, in fact, from God. If you look at the way the medical science has advanced, it's really the last 150 to 200 years that these advancements have been made against fighting infectious disease. And all of those advances have come from Western cultures, namely Britain and the United States for the most part. That is where your modern medicine comes from. And if you're a part of the Church of God, you probably already get where I'm going with this, that God gave certain birthright promises to Israel, to Ephraim and Manasseh, the people that currently are the English-speaking peoples of the world. And from them, God said blessings would go out to everyone, that those who bless you will be blessed, those who curse you will be cursed. And I believe that that's exactly what medical science is. I believe it's part of the birthright blessing to Israel, in the same way that all of the advancements of electricity and air conditioning and cars, all of these things that we take for granted that have come out of Western culture, have for the most part been part of the birthright blessings on Ephraim and Manasseh. And so there it is. I believe that medical science is not perfect. It is not something to be trusted in absolutely, and it is oftentimes even abused. And of course, there are many angles that I'm not covering here. However, if you've never considered it, think about whether or not God intended for us to have access to this life-saving miracle. If you think about the number of babies that are saved who would have died in childbirth in any other age in human history, who now have perfectly normal lives. If you have in the past compartmentalized your understanding of what medicine can do versus what God can do, maybe it's better to realize that medicine, in fact, is a gift of God. It's a gift of knowledge to mankind about how our bodies work, how the world around us works, and how we can manipulate the world around us to the benefit of mankind. maybe we ought to be thanking God that we have medical science, that we live in such an age where there are cures for these diseases, where there is some measure of relief that God has allowed us to have from the misery that has afflicted mankind since the beginning. I think that if you really think about it and consider it, you'll maybe come to see that maybe I'm on to something here. Anyway, that's my opinion, and so there are other issues about vaccines in particular I've heard people voice concerns about, and I'm not going to cover all those. You know, these videos are never intended to be me telling you like it is, but simply giving my opinion in a larger conversation that we call life. Anyway, that is the very first mobile snack, the first spiritual snack in quite a while. I am Stephen Britt. I'll see you next time. Please do continue to send me any, questions, anything you want my perspective on in the entire world. All right, that's it. Bye.